All right, I hope I'm audible. I am. Okay. So, good morning, robots. Oh, sorry, humans. I don't mean to scare any of you with this mind map, but this is just a glimpse of what I would uncover today as part of my talk. On that note, firstly, let me thank the Robot Framework Foundation for inviting me to speak at RoboCon 2025. And moreover, for building such a fabulous framework and a vibrant community that has enticed me to travel all the way from Mumbai, India. So, on that note, I bring lots and lots of love from India to RoboCon 2025. Imagine a world where testing isn't just clicking buttons and running scripts. It's a world where AI anticipates failures, where test cases write themselves, and where automation isn't just efficient, it's intelligent. Several years ago, when I started automating test cases, I thought, it's great. I can simply write scripts, and there may be no person who may need to manually test again. But reality hit differently. Maintenance, test flakiness, and those test run failures at 3 a.m. just proved one thing. Automation is only as good as the intelligence behind it. So I am here today to discuss the topic of redefining automation with robot framework, harnessing generative AI, large language models, and custom libraries with for next generation testing. Sorry. Today we are going to go on that particular journey from traditional test automation to a future where innovation meets practicality. So let's explore, experiment, and push the boundaries together. Now, before we get started, I know most of you all would have seen this car or this model in Finland. At least I have seen a couple of times. It's Tesla. How many of you here in the audience have driven a self-driving car? Yeah, I see several hands. Okay. But yeah, that's not the purpose. The purpose that I want to make clear over here, rather you can take it as a disclaimer, is AI-powered test automation still needs human oversight. You can treat AI like a cruise control, but not an autopilot. So just think of this particular situation where you have a self-driving car, an autonomous bot that knows the roads, it can handle the speed and direction. But when you have roadblocks in place that were put in just last night and it's not trained on that, how would it go past? So that's all about AI, the data you feed to it, and that's what we'll be learning today. So quick background about me. I'm Siddhant Wadhwani. I'm an avid tech enthusiast, traveler, mentor, tech blogger, content creator, and I work as an engineering manager at STAT at Newfold Digital. Have around a decade or more of work experience, manage a team of 35 estates across geographies. Well, this is my 100th talk. It's my first international in-person talk and my first time in Finland. And I'm really happy. Thank you. I'm an open source contributor to WordPress, a LinkedIn Top Voice Blue Badge, and as you can see, have done several certifications and also support the Browser Stack community as a chapter lead for Mumbai. But yeah, that's all about me. Let's take a quick glimpse at what I have as part of today's agenda. I start off with a brief introduction about what is generative AI, why robot framework with generative AI, building custom libraries with generative AI, case study, certain use cases that we'll deep dive into, how we can leverage generative AI with robot framework, and some demos, followed by challenges and solutions, and what the future holds for automation and generative AI. So all of us have, at least most of us have been through this entire phase. There would be people here from 1940s, I'm not sure, but that's how our software began, at least the software world. Where when we initially started testing, it was more of clicking buttons, and so on and so forth, right? Later on, we moved to writing scripts, started to automate those click of buttons, and now we have more sophisticated tools and frameworks like Robot Framework, a very robust framework that most of us have been using, at least in our organization, for the past 6+ years. And then you have seen several other frameworks and all keep developing. And now we are in that phase of generative AI, at least for the past 2 years, and it's continuously evolving. As most of you know, the tech world never stands still. So now we have autonomous bots, we have NLPs, AI MLs, and we are progressing way faster than what we had thought a few years ago. People write automation scripts. Now they're building CI/CD pipelines and moreover, even testing generative AI models, training the data sets, and utilizing a lot in order to get the right results. Now, I would like to skip this slide, but I'm expecting everyone in the audience already knows what Robot Framework is. It's a very robust open source automation framework, which mainly is tailored upon acceptance test-driven development and on the process of robotic process automation, which is RPA. It's a keyword-driven approach. You have support for various needs, whether it's functional, non-functional. We have seen several talks already today and yesterday talking about RF Swarm. There is capabilities for accessibility and several others. It's a simple tabular syntax, so it's easy to maintain. It's modular, and it's in simple plain syntax, English language, highly modular and extensible. And lastly, efficient integration. So you can integrate with several third parties as well. But that's just a glimpse. I'm sure you'll know a lot more about this. The role of AI in automation. I've just put in 4 points here, but the first point is intelligent insights improve decision making. As most of you know, generative AI helps with all the data, with all the training set that it has. It provides data-driven insights that help you improve your decision-making process and give businesses that initial boost of how it can deliver better insights to its stakeholders, to its customers. Second, predictive analytics optimize testing processes. With the amount of data that already generative AI has, or the model that you keep training, the testing processes can also improve manifold. And that's what we'll be talking about very shortly. AI analyzes test results and predicts defects. This is one more use case which we'll be seeing in the form of a short demo. And it also leads to more efficient testing processes, which again we will see and talk about. But let's understand first what are LLMs. Anyone in the crowd who would like to answer? Just a wild guess. Okay, so LLMs are basically large language models. They are trained heavily on textual data. It could be in several formats, whether it's unstructured, semi-structured, or structured. But most of the cases, at least the open source models that you see, they are in semi-structured format. So that's why there are cases when you do see hallucinations, you do see biases. But again, the more you train it, the more you prompt it, the more you fine-tune it, that much accurate data is what you will get. Now from LLMs, we have moved to multimodals. We have several AI models already in place. Many of them are online or open source. But the key capabilities of LLMs are, it helps you understand human-like text. You can leverage it for chatbots, which many of you all mostly would be doing in your use cases within your organization, either on the support front or sales front. Applications in automation and natural language processing. So there are several use cases where LLMs are in place. Some of them are already listed here. You have OpenAI, you have Gemini, you have Llama, and you have Claude. But why generative AI and robot framework? Let's address that big question. Why bring AI with the robot framework? Firstly, understand I'm not trying to push forth that we should only stick to generative AI. The tech world is evolving, but we must explore, experiment, and keep identifying use cases of how we can get better with software testing. So firstly, some of the use cases is what I've already listed out. It's enhanced test coverage, faster defect resolution, reduced manual errors, and continuous learning. But we do see challenges which we are trying to solve with generative AI. like the initial ones I talked about. It's flaky test, high maintenance, and low adaptability. So with that, we saw some talks yesterday about self-healing. We had workshop. We have AI-driven test generation and predictive analytics. And also the real world stats. It's not, of course, latest because we're just 2 months into this year, but teams using AI report a 50% reduction in test maintenance efforts that they noticed with generative AI. So all I would say and conclude with this slide is smarter testing for a smarter future. Embedded intelligent algorithms. Now you have integrated AI driven algorithms that can be integrated within your test scripts for smarter decision making and also adapting to different situations as per the need arises. Creating dynamic test environments, again, it depends. You can always have one single test environment, you can have several test environments to go on to production, but the more flexible it is, the more capable it is, that much better is the quality that goes out. Evolving tests with AI insights. Test scripts can be evolved based on the insights that you generate based on the model that you're using with AI, allowing for continuous improvement and optimizations. So you keep learning, you keep gathering the feedback and keep working on improving that over time. Enhancing robustness of automation strategies. The integration of AI and LLMs enhance the robustness of automation strategies by providing ability to learn from past data and improving those future outcomes. Now, when we talk about building custom libraries, I'm sure most of you will know what custom libraries are. But when we talk about what is the use case with generative AI, I'll skip through custom libraries because that's simple. But think of robot framework as the central hub. And you have custom libraries being in constant communication with generative AI. And you have your custom libraries can be split into API, utilities, UI components, data handlers, whereas generative AI components are more of your natural language processing, predictive analytics, and NLP. And based on all of this, it's like together that you ensure your testing ecosystem is only as powerful as the data and the information that is being passed to it. So these are your digital sidekicks and they are always ready to help. And I think you can make a lot of use cases out of this. In our company also, we saw drastic reductions in the maintenance efforts and we were able to catch a lot of defects. In fact, the speed at which we were testing and automating stuff also increased manifold with this. Talking about the case study, AI-assisted test route. So you have several use cases. Firstly, understand what are these AI algorithms, understand what is prompt engineering, understand what are those specific patterns or use cases that you want to implement generative AI for. And then think of ideas, think of those use cases and start making a list and experiment. I would say take up 1 or 2 use cases, see if you're getting value out of it, and then go beyond. Well, this is just one example of how we start writing one script, it ends up becoming a framework, and then a CI/CD pipeline, and then an AI-powered test generator. So imagine the amount of work, the amount of time we spend on writing scripts, and how fast we can get to a position with leveraging generative AI. So I'm sure most of you all would have seen Squid Game. Yeah. So you have a deploy to production mode and you have a YOLO mode, right? Well, I'll just relate this to one of my scenarios back in the organization. So we had a similar use case where we started using generative AI for custom libraries, how we could fasten the entire process. And then it got to a phase where it was either you deploy to production or just go YOLO, let's see what happens. And that's often the case because management wants you to get features out to production faster so they can please customers, of course. But then it's like, do you want to deliver fast and deliver dirty, or you want to build it the right way? And as testers, as professionals, we focus on getting quality to customers. So you have 2 choices always in life. Stick to the one that suits you best. I have 3 quick demos. these are some basic tools and technologies that I would recommend you all to try out if you all have. Firstly, of course, Robot Framework. You have Selenium for self-healing test cases. I have taken use cases of GitHub Copilot, Gemini Code Assist, OpenAI APIs or LLMs. One short demo about Operator, although it's not public, it's only in the US for now and still undergoing several enhancements. And lastly, you can use a sample application. This is a link by Heroku, so you can use that for the demo. The first use case is test case generation. I'm sure most of that you would have already tried out with generative AI. I won't say it's 100% accurate, but it's still helping you get there. So utilize it, save your time, and then scale from beyond that. This is one simple scenario where I have taken an example of automating the login for a checkout flow. Sorry, login and checkout flow. The goal that I ask it, this is not the exact prompt. Again, it could vary from what your requirements are. But then generate test cases dynamically using generative AI. So here in this case, I've taken GPT-4o or similar for robot framework. All you do is you pass in the API endpoint, use specific functions that it provides like chat complete and stuff. And then it starts creating test cases for you based on the data that you have provided to it. Again, if it doesn't have your product knowledge, your domain knowledge, it won't give you that accurate data. So you need to train your model accordingly and then prompt it in the right manner. Some of the environments that are much needed are your Robot Framework 7.1 versions and above, Python 3.10 and above. And yeah, the test repo is already hosted on GitHub. I can share that link with you all later. But then on similar use case, you can use Operator, which I'm not sure most of you all, if you all know or not, but Operator is one of the very recent OpenAI's first agent that was launched, which would automate tasks, and also it helps a lot in reasoning purposes. So you can use it for understanding, predicting, identifying patterns, and getting better at delivering quality to your customers. Now, I have used the same use case and I see better results using Operator. But again, once this goes public, you can try it out and experiment how that works for you. This is, of course, the output that it generated. What I did was I wanted it to create a robot framework, robot file, rather a test case that handles both the happy path and the non-happy path. And it has done at least well in my case. Again, this is a simple scenario. You can think of more use cases and prompt it accordingly. When we talk of self-healing, that's the second demo using Selenium. Selenium, as most of you all know, it's an AI-powered self-healing tool. And the purpose of this is to, the way it works is, it takes a baseline, like it will try to capture, when you run the first set of scripts, it'll start capturing all the locators, store it in its database, and keep understanding what you're trying to automate. It understands the patterns, and the next time you run it, if there's a slight UI change, it will try to, if the first locator didn't work, the one that you had already passed to it, then it will try to check from its database, which is the closest match. It has several checks in its algorithm that it goes across and identifies which is the perfect match to this, and accordingly tries to self-heal it. So again, it's Docker based. You need to have the Selenium proxy up and running before you run the test, and then you can try out how that works. RAG, as most of you all know, retrieval augmented generation. It's more of knowledge based testing, I would say. So if you have a LLM or an open source model that you have already ready with you, you can just train your data, pass accurate data to it, have proper domain specific knowledge, and then see the results that it gets you. You have LangChain, FAIIS, and OpenAI, so that can definitely help you. This is a quick demo with GitHub Copilot and Gemini Code Assist. Even if you all don't have licenses, GitHub Copilot is now free with some limited features. So you can try that out. This is the same PyCharm ID. I use PyCharm, but yeah, the team uses Visual Studio Code, and it's available there as well. So you do have options where you get certain predefined prompts. Like you can ask it to explain the code. It takes the file that's open, or you can pass a file to it, or the entire repo in itself, and you can leverage certain use cases. Like in this case, I just took an example of a Python script that I've written that captures all the URLs at a particular depth, and I'm asking it to fix or explain the code, and it does pretty well. And then all I do is I need to replace a specific code block or the entire code and run the test, and it works fine. Moreover, you don't need to wait for your developers to write unit tests. It will help get that ready for you. And you just add it to your CI/CD pipeline, and there you go. Similar use cases with Gemini Code Assist. That too is free. All you need to do is link it with your Google account, and you have it up and running. In the interest of time, I'll just skip through this, but if you all have any questions, we can always discuss offline. Some of the top 10 use cases that at least I have identified with generative AI in testing, you have number of AI models and tools which you can use, but you have dynamic test case generation, intelligent test data generation, AI enhanced test scripting, automated bug detection, predictive test execution optimization, AI optimized performance testing, AI and CI, automated document generation, just like the user manual that's coming out. Probably we can use Notebook LM, pass that data, and see how we can optimize and create a manual from there. And real-time collaboration and communication. You have Slack channels, you have Discord channels, integrate AI, use for meetings, summarize, and see how you can get better in terms of testing. Challenges and solutions. Now, I'm not going into scenarios like deepfakes and all because that's not relevant here, but you have integration complexity. The cost of AI models is, of course, huge based on the prompts and data you pass to it. Data privacy, which has been a major concern with several organizations, including DeepSeek that recently launched. There were concerns raised about privacy and security. And lastly, bias, hallucinations, and fairness with generative AI. But there are several solutions like proactive testing, adaptive frameworks, enhanced coverage, and collaboration with AI agents. Well, the future of automation is all about AI, LLMs, and how you go beyond that. I would say it's no longer just intelligent, it's agentic. AI isn't just following, it's leading the way. So don't wait for it. We are at that cusp of era that AI is not only, I mean, it's not like AI is going to lead the way or not. It's the potential that we are looking for utilizing generative AI. And we have tons of stats to talk about it all the way from current year to the next 5 years. The key takeaways is enhanced testing capabilities with generative AI, the flexibility through custom libraries, and the future of AI and automation. That's the 3 points that I summarize as part of my talk. Well, this is generative AI plus robot framework. And I leave you all with a quick quote that I myself prepared. The best automation isn't about replacing testers. It's about amplifying their intelligence. Embrace, explore, experiment, and innovate. Because the future of testing is written by those willing to redefine it. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Sinan, excellent presentation and good quote.
Thank you.
Because I was thinking that one thing that AI can be used is like making sure that our plan is good, and if there's something that we are missing, so kind of like asking a second opinion. Is this test good?
Absolutely.
Could there be another way of doing it better, or am I missing something?
Yeah.
And I'm a bit envious that you have an access to OpenAI operator.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
we have partnered with OpenAI and Contract.
Okay.
So.
For us Europeans, there's a project called Deep Research, which is an open source project which is doing similar stuff. And that can be used instantly. I think we have time for 1 or 2 questions. Anyone there? Tatu. Yes.
Thanks. How did the result analysis go? What did you do with it?
How did the result analysis go, if I got it right? So we are experimenting. None of these projects are right now in production. We are trying to check for several use cases and understand how that accuracy works. And so far, all I would conclude with this talk is just that you experiment, you see how that is going. So far, it was 77% accurate. We were able to at least utilize most of the bits that we tried out. But then again, like I said, you need human oversight. You need to keep rechecking and seeing that is it giving you the right value. So I won't say that 100% rely on it, but you can depend on it.
One more question. Okay. Then thank you, Siddhant.